Hey, Motorman here, and this is a very controversial subject. Is Harley going to go broke because they went woke? Well, I can't say for sure, but I can tell you this is probably the worst time for motorcycle manufacturers. The economy has taken a downturn. People can't even fill up their car with gas. The groceries are outrageous. They can't afford the rent. And of course, when you're in that economic situation, there's very few people that could buy new motorcycles, whether they be Harley-Davidson or any other manufacturer. It's not something in America that you need. There are some countries where the motorcycle is the only means of transportation, but here in America, you can consider them toys, just like a boat. And when the economy takes a downturn, the first thing to go are the toys. Now, I've watched some of this stuff, and I really didn't know the CEO very much. I've read some stuff about him. I realize he's from Germany, but I know there's a lot of people in Germany that love Harley-Davidsons. I've met quite a few in my class. But it appears that the CEO of Harley-Davidson has no clue who their customers are. At least, you know, if you're going to pander to a very tiny group of individuals in hopes that they're suddenly going to become motorcycle riders and then buy one of the most expensive motorcycles, is like a pipe dream. I know that it's not just the CEO. He was hired by the board of directors, and they're just as woke as he is. You got to know who your customers are, and you got to appeal to them. You want to give money away. You want to give hundreds of millions of dollars away to, I don't know, any of these woke groups. It's probably not what your customers are going to agree with. If you want to give money away, give it to Tunnel of Towers or the Wounded Warrior Program. Is almost nobody is going to argue with that. But to claim that you're going to have Harley-Davidson motorcycles are going to be fully electric by 2030, I mean, this is just stupid things to say. Now, I know a couple of people in their marketing department, and I've never heard them say any of these things, or they never appeared to be far left woke people or wanting to pander to anybody. And by the way, when you go on these trips with Harley-Davidson where they invite us, some YouTubers out there, and we take the bikes for a ride, they don't tell you what to say. You can say anything you want about their motorcycles. I love Harley-Davidson bikes. I love the style, the way they ride. They just fit my needs perfectly. So I'm not going to go and take my Harley-Davidson motorcycles and blow them up or burn them or drive them into a lake. That would be plain stupid. If you're in that financial situation, you feel so strongly about this, and you could just set your $40,000 bike on fire, more power to you. I'm not in that situation. Now, will I buy another new Harley-Davidson? Well, to be honest, I'm not in the market to do that. I knew when the 24s came out, I rode every one of them, liked them very much, but I also love the bikes I have right now, and I didn't feel I needed, especially my wife would agree with this, I didn't need any more motorcycles, and I didn't want to trade any of the ones that I have or sell them. So that's how I feel about it. Harley-Davidson, is this the end? You know, right now things are really bad in the motorcycle industry. It doesn't matter if it's Harley or anybody else. I went into a local Honda dealership just the other day. Guys get loaded with bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, off-road, you name it. And the owner told me the only thing they don't have is customers. Nobody's buying Hondas either. Same thing with the Harley-Davidson dealership. They got more bikes than they ever have, but they don't have any customers. So to come out and claim that you want to support a very tiny part of society rather than your customer base, or try to piss off your customer base, you would think that the Bud Light thing would have taught them a lesson, but obviously it hasn't. My bet is that the CEO is going to step down, or they're going to force him out. But like I said, the problem, the CEO, the board members who hired the CEO are just as bad as he is, as far as the pandering and the woke nonsense, DEI and all that. And the customer base doesn't agree with those positions. So Harley-Davidson, you better smarten up. Are they going to go broke over this? It is a possibility. I never thought before, even with the downturn in the economy, I thought, well, maybe, you know, things will change as the economy gets better, sales will go up. But then you throw this in, and I know these dealers are really salespeople. They're pissed. I don't think it's directly affected sales right at this moment, but it is going to, and it's just going to get worse. So my advice to Harley-Davidson is get rid of the CEO, get rid of all these board members, and get some people who actually know who the customer base is and know how iconic Harley-Davidson motorcycles are, and build the best motorcycle you can build. If you want to give money away, give it to the Wounded Warriors or Tunnel to Towers, any of these groups where it's not going to piss anybody off if you give your money to them. So that's all I've got to say on the subject. Will I boycott Harley-Davidson? Well, like I said, I'm not in the market to buy a new one, so I can't. That wouldn't be an honest boycott. Will I stop wearing Harley T-shirts, hats, etc.? Probably. But that's all I got to say. Hopefully things change, because if Harley goes out of business and goes broke, it's not the people that are the CEO that's going to be hurt by this, or the board members. It's going to be the thousands upon thousands of people that work for Harley-Davidson, from their dealerships to the mechanics to the people who detail the bikes. It's going to put a lot of people out of work. So I hope things change. I hope the Harley-Davidson comes out with an apology for the stupidity that they did, and maybe that'll turn things around. I can't say for sure. It's probably going to take a while, because with the economy the way it is right now, people just aren't buying expensive toys. That's I don't think has anything to do with the woke stuff, but as things get better, you want people to come back and buy Harley-Davidson motorcycles. You need to apologize to the customer base and smarten up just a little bit. Doesn't take a lot to know who your customers are. I mean, I'm sure they have all kinds of focus groups. Harley-Davidsons, they know who their customers are, and that's who they need to pander to, not people who wouldn't know Harley-Davidson from a welfare check. So that's all I've got to say on the subject. Feel free to comment below if you think I'm crazy. Whatever, I don't care what you say. I read about all the comments. Sometimes I comment back, sometimes I don't have enough time. But that's it for this, and I hope you enjoyed this and maybe learned something. And again, I don't want to be political, but this particular subject is political, and I needed to comment on it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.